Okay, let's unpack this. Talking on the phone in English, it's something a lot of us find tricky.
No, definitely. It's like you lose half the conversation without the visuals. It can be really intimidating.
Yeah, face-to-face feels so different, and that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive. We've got this guide really focused on mobile phone calls in English.
And our goal here, really, is to pull out the most useful bits for you. You know, the phrases people actually use.
The practical stuff, the rhythm of it. We want to help you navigate those calls smoothly, feel more natural.
So you feel prepared, basically. Like you've got the tools you need next time you pick up or dial.
Exactly. So where does this guide kick things off?
It starts right at the beginning. Answering the phone and making calls. The absolute basics.
Makes sense. Got to start somewhere. So for answering.
Well, it gives options,
Yeah.
depending on who's calling, you know? If it's formal or unknown, just hello works fine.
Or maybe a bit more specific.
Right. Hi, this is your name speaking. That's pretty standard, neutral.
And then there's the work context.
Yeah, that's different again. More like, good morning, your company, your name speaking. Very clear, very professional.
But if it's a friend...
Oh, totally different vibe. Could just be, hey, what's up? The guide really stresses matching the tone.
Okay, so that's answering covered. What about when you're the one making the call?
Similar idea,
Yeah.
different ways in to make sure you've got the right person. Hi, is this name? That's polite and direct.
And for someone you know better, maybe more casual.
You could say something like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Just straightforward.
And if you're just calling to, like, catch up.
The guide suggests keeping it simple. I'm just calling to check in. Friendly, low pressure.
Okay, that makes sense. But you mentioned something earlier the guy highlights. Checking availability.
Yes. This is super important. Asking something like, did I catch you at a good time? Or maybe, is now a good time to talk?
Why is that little question so key?
Well, in a lot of English-speaking contexts, just launching into why you're calling can feel a bit abrupt, maybe even demanding.
Okay, so asking first is...
It's about showing respect for their time, you know,
Yeah.
what they might be doing. It just sets a much better tone, especially if it's work-related or someone you don't know well.
Right, it's those little things that make a big difference in sounding polite.
Exactly. And the guide doesn't just list phrases, it actually shows them working in a real conversation.
Oh, the sample chat between Lisa and Jake.
That's the one. It's short, friendly, relaxed. The guide points out this is how a lot of natural native speaker calls actually sound.
Okay, so break it down for us. How does it go?
Lisa starts, hi Jake, it's Lisa. Can you talk for a minute? See? Identifies herself, checks his availability right away.
Nice. And Jake?
He's like, hey Lisa, yeah, I've got a few minutes, what's up? Very natural. Confirms he can talk, asks what's going on.
And Lisa's reason.
Just checking in. Super common, casual. And she adds, I tried calling earlier, but I think your phone was off.
Which happens all the time.
Well.
Acknowledging the missed call.
Totally. And Jake's reply is relatable too. Oh yeah, sorry, my battery died. I forgot to charge it last night. Simple explanation, no big drama.
We've all done that. So then Lisa gets to the point.
Yep. I just wanted to ask if you're free tomorrow. Framed as a question, nice and easy.
And Jake checks.
Yeah, there's that little pause. Let me check. Yeah, I should be free after 3 p.m. Sounds real, right?
Definitely. And they sort out the next step quickly.
Great. I'll text you the details later. Perfect. Plan made, details offline, keep the call efficient.
And the ending.
Quick and friendly. Jake says, perfect, thanks for calling. Lisa goes, talk soon, bye. Done. Short, sweet, goal achieved.
Seeing it like that really helps. It feels less daunting.
Yeah, it shows the flow. But knowing it and doing it are different things, so the guide suggests practice.
The repeat after me part.
Exactly. It stresses how important it is to actually say the phrases out loud. Reading isn't enough.
Feels muscle memory, right?
Precisely. So you're not scrambling for words on a real call. It gives some core lines to practice.
Like which ones?
Okay, so for answering formally. Hi, this is your name speaking. Say that a few times.
Or a casual opener. Hey, can you talk for a minute?
A common reason for missing a call. Sorry, my phone died. We all need that one sometimes.
True. And planning the next step. I'll text you the details.
And a really useful, versatile closing. Talk to you soon. Works for friends, colleagues.
So just repeating those, focusing on the sound and rhythm.
Yeah. The guide says even a few minutes of that helps you sound more natural when it counts.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, beyond just starting and ending, the guide talks about phone etiquette, right? Good manners.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
This is crucial for making a good impression, especially in professional situations or with new people.
We already mentioned asking if it's a good time. That's a big one.
Huge. And building on that, if you think they might be busy, you can offer to be quick. Something like, I won't keep you long.
Shows you respect their time.
Exactly. And then ending the call politely. It avoids that awkward, sudden hang-up.
So beyond just bye.
Yeah, you could say thanks for your time, especially if they've helped you.
Or what about signaling you need to go?
A polite way is, I'll let you go now.
Okay.
Sounds considerate.
Any others?
Talk soon. Take care. This is another good one. Friendly works in many contexts. Using these just makes the whole interaction feel smoother, more professional, or considerate.
It really rounds out the conversation. So phrases, examples, practice. What else does the guide offer? It mentioned a challenge.
It does. It gives you, the listener, a direct task. And it's meant to be very manageable.
Which is?
Just practice a short phone conversation. You can do it with a friend, or honestly, just record yourself on your phone.
And it gives a structure for that practice.
Super simple. Start with something like, hi, is this name? I just wanted to check if you're free tomorrow.
Okay, so basically mimic the start of the Lisa Jake call.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it says, make sure your practice includes 4 key things.
Let me guess. A greeting.
Yep, a question.
A reason for calling.
Right, even a simple one.
Wait.
And finally,
A polite goodbye.
you got it. Just those elements in a short practice run.
That feels totally achievable.
And the guide adds this really encouraging point. Doing this for just like 2 or 3 minutes each day seriously boosts your fluency and confidence fast. It's about that consistent practice.
So bringing it all together, this deep dive started with that feeling of phone anxiety.
Right. And we've seen how this guide tackles it directly. It gives you those essential opening and closing lines.
Shows you how they actually sound in a normal casual chat.
Gives you concrete phrases to practice out loud, building that automaticity.
And layers on those crucial politeness tips so you make a good impression.
These are practical tools, based on how people really talk. Using even 1 or 2 can make a real difference to how you feel on a call.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? The power of just a few well-chosen phrases and a bit of practice.
Which leads to a final thought for you to consider.
Think about your next English phone call. What if you consciously decide to use just one thing from this deep dive? Maybe starting with, is now a good time? Or using a specific polite closing like, I'll let you go now. How could that single small change shift things? Not just for your confidence, but for how the whole conversation flows, how the other person perceives you.